Welcome back to Soccerex Connected 100 for our final team talks of what's been a marathon event. My name is Charles Wagstaff. I run all the content for Soccerex, that you'll see across the platform, and I'll be guiding you through today's session. A fascinating one. And our next presentation is from the Johan Cruyff Institute, good friends of Soccerex, and Luca Spinelli, Director, Digital Transformation and Analytics Strategy, and also a Sports Data Analytics Professor as well. So Luca, over to you.
Thank you very much, Charles, and thanks everybody for being here today. I'll be sharing my screen in a sec and we will get into the session. I believe you will be able to see it now, and here we go. So again, thanks a lot for coming today. I will represent a bit the academic and the delivery part of what we heard from our colleagues from Real Madrid and Galatasaray today. The case we have today is really interesting. I'll be discussing a bit about the Royal Dutch Football Federation business case, which was implemented by the company I work for, which is SAS Institute. And we will see how a company like us can really treat a fan as an individual. And from an academic point of view, so what we do with Johan Cruyff Institute, see how we actually teach sports professionals on understanding how they can personalize their approach towards the fan engagement, and in general, how they work on sports analytics. Just as a bit of a background, I was a student myself at the Johan Cruyff Institute. I've been studying the sport management master, and when I have completed it, then I've been engaged as a professor for the sports analytics course. Thanks to the experience I've been accumulating throughout my experience. I've been working in the past with different football federations and clubs, and also sports academies. And this helps, the connection between the technology and the functional departments, which is key. So as a student, I was, of course, getting a full understanding of what sports management means. So from, again, marketing, as we heard also from our colleagues now, to event management or finance or strategy. And now as a professor, I'm adding the new piece, which is sports analytics, which is something that it's been there for a long time, but not really used or expanded as it deserves to be. We heard a lot from our colleague, especially now the last piece from Galatasaray about social media not being enough anymore, and the posts not being enough anymore. I absolutely agree. I believe that we were doing a lot of social media analysis before. We still do it. One of the exercises we do with the students at the Johan Cruyff Institute is actually connect to Twitter and get the data out of it, and do some sentiment analysis and some analysis of engagement. So we look at the number of likes or visualization, the geolocation of people looking at things. But this, again, is not enough. So if we really want to treat fans as individuals, we need to start from this macro assessment and analysis of big data, and then slowly get into a funnel. And we will see it in the next slides, to really go down to a very detailed segmentation that will allow us to treat indeed fans as individuals. So today I will be moving a bit from the academic side into the delivery piece, and I will be covering the case of KNVB. Just to start, what I would like to say, and that I've seen also in the presentations of our other guests today, is that sports organizations today realize that there is a crazy amount of data they need to work with, and that their competitors are no longer just other sports organizations, but other service providers too, right? So today, a football club has to compete with the engagement of video games, theaters, theme parks, and as well on-demand TV, like Amazon Prime or Netflix or Apple TV, and so far, so forth. So the utilization of data is really, really important to manage the audience, and to really make everybody feeling spatial. So I will be sharing a quick video about what SAS does in general on sports analytics, and then I will go into the case. So from a technical point of view, from my career point of view, I represent today SAS Institute, the software company that delivers artificial intelligence for over 40 years now in the market. We've been doing a lot of sports analytics. I actually work with the sports analytics team as a side gig in my day business. We've been working, creating now in fan engagement during COVID on an optimization AI script and solution that would allow people to go back to stadiums in full safety. And it's indeed a venue optimization solution. And we've done a lot of more work, of course, using IoT for performance in the pitch of the players, and also something similar we've seen from Real Madrid before when it comes to geolocation of fans in the stadium or the path that they follow to reach the stadium or to leave. So using computer vision or other scripts or functionalities of machine learning and AI. I'll go quickly on a 1-minute video and then we will come back. Thanks for being with me for a minute. So what we've seen now in a very short video is what we can do and what we've seen in the sports area in general. So a 360 view on what data can actually do for sports. So both on the pitch, if you want, for football, and outside, so with members. And in terms of how do we treat fans as individuals and how do we make them loyal, right? So in the marketing side, we've been always seeing a funnel, right? So we see fans being members before, or let's say, sorry, being just prospective members before becoming loyal. So it's a funnel of a certain number of people that then slowly shrinks into what are the most loyal members. This in marketing was always divided into two pieces, right? What is covered by the digital marketing, which is basically whatever happens before the CRM, so the registration and all the data. And then indeed, what I just said, the data that comes recorded in databases such as CRMs that then can be treated and used. So what we want to make sure that we do nowadays is that we actually break these silos of having digital marketing separated from CRM and put this all together by having a solution that is more towards the hybrid marketing. So we need to be able to combine that data that comes from different sources and different channels or experiences then into a single point, into a single database that allows then analysis, machine learning, AI, and all the type of decision that is data-driven, making sure that we are not missing any bit or byte. So the three things that we do when we want to facilitate the game of bringing fans to us and making them really feel special is to make sure, again, that we look at three things: data, channels, and content. We want to be able to ingest as much data as we can, use all the channels that we have available, and of course, publish content all from the same platform. This is what we've done for the Dutch Federation, and we will see it in a second. So when it comes to the customer data platform, we see basically a few different things. So we have behavioral data, we were discussing before, a bit of social media or other stuff. We have on-premise data, which is all the data that the clubs have ingested by themselves on their own premises in their own servers. And then, of course, all the part of the data in audience segmentation. So we need to be able to categorize people in a different way if you want to be able to treat them as individual, right? We need to understand what they prefer, what they like, what they dislike, the habits they have, when they're connected, when they use our apps, and so on and so forth. This goes into, of course, the channel that we'll see in a second. On content side, of course, we need to be able to manage from a single place all our digital assets. We need to be able to manage all our marketing operations from the same place. So again, if we were looking at a case with other federations and other clubs where we wanted to make sure that from the same place we could, for example, publish and send advertisement on the new jersey release for the next season with the name of the person that was actually receiving the ad, right? So there is a lot of personalization that comes in. And then when it comes to channel, we need to be sure that we are everywhere, right? So are we able to send personalized emails? Are we able to send personalized information through web and mobile? Do we have access directly through mail and voice of people? So do we have their contacts? Do we have their contacts also on social media and other places? Do we have then access to all this data? The answer is usually yes, even if though we heard also from both Real Madrid and Galatasaray that there are a lot of restrictions, right? We need to be careful with GDPR and the rest of the data protection. But by mixing data in a proper way and using mix of cloud and premise solutions, we are able to now reach this level. All this, of course, then combines into what we call a journey orchestration. We want to make sure that by using data in a proper way, then we are able to follow the funds in an individualized manner from the day they get in touch with us all the way to their purchases. By doing this and having access to different type of data and understanding this, and of course using AI to support us, then we are able to not only upsell, but also cross-sell. So we are able to identify and understand the needs of people outside of what we can perceive at first impact, let's say. So on the case of the Royal Dutch Football Federation, this is a very, very good case. It's a public one on how they actually wanted to reach over 3.6 million football fans throughout a customer engagement platform, which was built by SAS. So just to give you a bit of a brief about the Football Federation of Netherlands. So they have 3,000 clubs. You can see the numbers here with me. They have approximately 63,500 teams and over 1,200 players. So there is a lot of data here to get. There are over 12 million fans. They represent 200 nationalities. So we wanted to make sure that we were looking at their data in a proper way and support them throughout their journey. Sorry, I will be fast because I think I am going a bit over time. Okay, sorry, I just have a minute left. So they wanted to go through gaining more insight about their fans, share those insights with all the clubs, make data-driven decisions, and then get better in commercializing their products. So this was then delivered, my slide is not moving, through 4 different solutions. One is a customer intelligence system, which goes at 360 degrees. It's a database that gets all the data coming in from different sources and allows then the federation to look at websites, visits, merchandise sales, ticket sales, game data, and so far so forth. Then we looked at also at CI 360, Customer Intelligence 360, and analytics to do some decisioning and launching campaigns and monitoring campaigns. And then we put all together into a football intelligence platform and a football ecosystem that were allowing us to close the circle and have everything in one single place, as we said. This has allowed the federation to reach a 45% increase on the response rate for partners. The click ratios have improved to 35%, and the open ratio of newsletters and email campaigns often are reaching 75%. So there is a very, very good case here. And if anybody has any question, I will be super happy to discuss in more details. You can reach me through either my JCI contacts or the SAS contacts. Thank you very much.